Puff had said, come home, stay the night with me, or the internship is over. And they said, absolutely not. He said, absolutely not. And the internship ended. But from there, I was like, oh, like this is how it goes. Okay.
Yeah. Mr. Surviving R. Kelly, Mr. Holding People Accountable. You sat on this information for all this time, and only now that the lynch mob is out, you got something to say. I got a problem with that.
I do too. I do too.
So he was a big part of the Survivor and R. Kelly documentary as somebody who was commentating on, you know, R. Kelly's bad antics, which eventually helped putting him behind bars. To know that this man is that type of person and to hold on to some information that's personal to him. This man said his own family member
that's sick,
had an interaction with Diddy.
He said, if you don't spend the night with me, this is over. That's effed up. That's illegal.
He should have put that out there a long time ago, before all that, bro. But I mean, the most he could say is, I thought that if I put this out there, that they're gonna cover it up. They're not gonna believe me. It's my word against his. You know, at that time, maybe he felt that Diddy was too big to be that part, bro.
I find it like extra disgusting.
So Jody,
that we have people who have information out here.
So my question to you is,
his family member might want it to come out, but he feel like he can't because he feel like if I do, Diddy probably told me, if you ever say something, you're a dead man.
It doesn't look good for Diddy right now, and that's why I'm going to be exposing even more what's been already exposed. But I'm going to package it for you guys so you guys get a true-to-life formal update on what has been going on with the Diddy situation. If you guys are not aware, I have a couple of panelists here. E-Man is one of the panelists.
Yes, sir.
And the guy that you love to hate, this guy, Keon, one of the panelists. You had a very trash take last time, but I think I attribute it to the sauce. You were drinking and you were loud as shit.
I do not recall.
You are trash.
I do not recall.
When you be drinking, you trash.
I do not recall.
I didn't know that you could go on
the only people that can tell the truth are children. Oh, they're the only people that tell the truth.
I don't believe that, bro. I believe everybody lies, bro, if they get a chance to. So, there's a video here that was sent to me by, I think it was Andrew, Shogun Assassin. Thank you, Shogun Assassin.
Let's go L.A. and Miami homes of billionaire hip-hop mogul Sean Diddy Combs. Homeland Security conducted the armed raid in an alleged sex trafficking operation. TMZ later capturing Diddy pacing around a private Miami airstrip. Diddy wasn't arrested, but his phones were seized. And there's speculation tonight that he's fled the country. We can't confirm it. Just breaking tonight, though, Diddy's attorneys putting out a statement saying, quote, there's no excuse for the excessive show of force and hostility exhibited by authorities. This unprecedented ambush, paired with advanced coordinated media presence, leads to a premature rush to judgment of Mr. Combs and is nothing more than a witch hunt. We believe the raid was triggered by a litany of lawsuits, including from his own ex, alleging abuse, rape, and sex trafficking. Diddy settled that one, but then 2 months ago, his former producer, Rodney Lil Rod Jones, filed an explosive lawsuit containing disturbingly graphic and disgusting details that not only implicate Diddy, but aim straight at the heart of the music industry. An elaborate racketeering, blackmail, and sex trafficking scheme that his lawyers compare to Jeffrey Epstein's. Diddy's chief of staff, Christina Coram, is said to have been the Ghislaine Maxwell to Sean Combs, allegedly ordering her assistants to keep Mr. Combs high off gummies, pills, cocaine, and ecstasy, and maintaining a steady stream of sex workers for her boss. Now, some of the women brought into Diddy's orbit were under the age of 16. That's according to the complaint. The lawsuit claims he required the sex workers and underage girls to sign NDAs prior to entering his parties and prior to being drugged and sex trafficked at these parties. Diddy allegedly forced all of the women to drink laced De Leon liquor, as well as laced Ciroc vodka and champagne. His former bodyguard, Gene Deal, said this.
Guys don't put those pills that they get to the girls in the champagne bottles because they popping them in front of them. It's in the orange juice and it's in the cranberry juice. They didn't put the pills and the stuff in there the roofies, those girls who like the mixed drinks, they gonna pour their own sexual act because they don't understand it ain't in the bottles, it's in the juice. Those guys, they learn that and they put it to those girls who don't know no better.
Now, Diddy called these his freak-out parties. In attendance were celebrities, politicians, athletes, international dignitaries like British royalty, Prince Harry, and music label executives. Lil Rod claimed some of the biggest names in the recording industry sponsored these parties with sex workers, drugs, and underage girls. The CEO of Universal Music, Lucian Grange, is named as a defendant. So is the former CEO of Motown Records, Ethiopia Habert Mariam, and others. Lil Rod says hidden cameras were in every room of Diddy's homes. Lil Rod believes that Mr. Combs possesses compromising footage of every person that has attended his freak-off parties and his house parties. Salacious tapes of Hollywood's biggest names, including record CEOs and politicians, doing drugs and cavorting with prostitutes and minors. The complaint argues that these freak-off parties were a business model. Young and up-and-coming talent attended and were promised career opportunities and access to music executives. They were then plied with drugs and alcohol, filmed. Some were blackmailed. There was a quid pro quo, according to the complaint. Lil Rod said not only were these music executives sponsoring these parties, they were handing Diddy large sums of cash that he used to pay for the sex workers and drugs. Something tells me the IRS is going to be interested. The suit claims the defendants funded the sex trafficking venture and participated in the recruitment of victims. Now, if this is true, this is so bad. Famous artists like Usher, at the age of 13, were whisked away to Diddy's Puffy Flavor Camp.
I lived with Sean Puffy Combs for a year.
That's the crazy thing. Now, that was L.A. Reid's idea, right? We're sending you
New
over
York
to
City.
something called Puffy Flavor Camp.
There you go.
You were 13. What were you seeing?
I went there to see the lifestyle.
Right.
And I saw it. And it was, but I don't know if I could indulge and understand what I was even looking at. It was pretty wild.
So nobody tried to, some woman didn't come along.
I didn't say that.
Okay.
I didn't say that. What I did say is that there were very curious things taking place. And I didn't necessarily understand it.
Would you ever send your kid to Puffy Camp?
Hell no.
15-year-old Justin Bieber spent days with Diddy.
Right now, he's having 48 hours with Diddy, him and his boy. They're having the times of their lives. What we doing, we can't really disclose, but it's definitely a 15-year-old's dream. I have been given custody of him, and we're gonna go full crazy.
I'm going crazy.
Crazy.
I'm taking this out tonight.
What you want to do?
Let's just go get some girls. Let's go hang with some girls.
A man after my heart. That's what I'm talking about here.
And we're not accusing Diddy of doing anything bad with Bieber, but Diddy's lifestyle was an open secret in the industry.
That's the problem.
People have been warning about this for years.
Now, I've had to turn down $50 million 4 times. 4 times. Just to protect my integrity and that virgin hole I was telling you about. Right. Because P. Diddy be wanting to party. And you gotta tell him no. You got to tell him no. I did. I did. See, I got the receipts for everything I'm telling you.
Now, Diddy operated like he was protected. Mr. Combs made it clear that his head of security, Fahim Muhammad.
Ladies and gentlemen, let the record state and be clear. Diddy was protected.
Yes.
He was protected his whole entire time
Yes.
while he was doing these bullshit shenanigans. And now he's gone so far into the deep end, the protection is over because the people who protected him need to be protected.
Exactly.
We're going to talk about that later because this is a dangerous situation.
Yes, we'll focus on one thing at a time. One thing at a time. One body
had
at
the
a time.
power to make people and problems disappear. Fahim Muhammad, Diddy's head of security, was the former head of security for Michael Jackson, who was also accused of sexual deviancy. Diddy's head of security is accused of paying off law enforcement. The lawsuit claims Diddy bragged about getting away with shooting people. Diddy and his girlfriend at the time, J-Lo, weren't charged for that New York City nightclub shooting involving rapper Shine. Another shooting that Lil Rod alleges he saw was a shooting inside of Diddy's own studio that left blood in the restroom, where Diddy instructed Lil Rod to lie to the police by telling them that the victim was shot standing outside the studio by a drive-by assailant. The lawsuit has photos of this stuff. And after hours of forensics and police inside the room, no charges. Lil Rod claims he saw Diddy distribute guns from his bedroom closet to questionable individuals dressed in all black. Diddy alluded to having law enforcement in his back pocket. Lil Rod said the defendants bragged about murdering people and bribing witnesses and jurors. Inside of Diddy's mind, the lawsuit says he believes he's above the law and is untouchable. But it looks like Diddy's world's collapsing. Now, what we don't know is how many people he'll take with him, and whether we'll ever see the evidence the feds seized from his homes.
All of these big deviants is all catching hell in 2024. It's up for all of them. It don't matter if you Diddy or whoever you is. All lies will be exposed. That's all. In 30 years, I've done nothing but collect information, knowledge, and your secrets. So if you and a man was in a corner doing something you wasn't supposed to be doing, I know so many things I shouldn't know, and they all know it. They all know it.
Sex trafficking advocate Jaco Booyens joins us now. Jaco, your sister was trafficked in the music industry. What does this story tell you now?
Yeah, Jesse, thank you for having me on. Yes, my sister Ilanka, her story of trafficking started in the music industry. She was trafficked over a 6-year period by a record label executive. The industry is rife with this. There's a lot of cover-up because people are, as you so eloquently state, surreptitiously filmed. They are blackmailed. Remember, human trafficking's definition is the exploitation of persons through the mechanism of force, fraud, and coercion, all of them present in this case.
It's not about justice, it's not about agenda, it's not about... that's a sum laid out up to the last 3 hours. And in the last 3 hours, there's been a couple of updates. Now, that was just to package the first deal for you guys to understand what's going on. But now, over the last 3 hours, a couple of things have happened. Diddy and his entourage have been... TMZ got footage of this, by the way. Diddy and his entourage were stopped by the feds at the airport.
No.
And here is footage of them being stopped at the airport. See, you have Diddy, his entourage here being stopped, and we see this guy on the right, the white boy in both pictures. This is the person that said is his drug mule. Roddy from the article says this is the guy that Diddy gets all of his drugs from, and he also was arrested on this tarmac. The person that was arrested was Diddy's alleged drug guy.
Ooh, hey, now talk about somebody know where the bones are buried. Nobody knows more than maids, your drug man, or the goddamn butler. They have the most secrets in fucking world history. That's crazy.
So as you can see, there's P. Diddy right there, and yeah, he's already released on bond. But he had some coke on him, and he had some candy that was believed to be marijuana candy.
Yeah.
So in Florida, both of those are
Schedule
felonies.
Yep.
Those are felonies.
In Florida,
he's a rap.
Yeah, this is Schedule 2s.
Yeah.
So he already posted bond. Here's his mugshot. He reminds me of Jesse Pinkman, bro. Yo, Mr. White. Yo, Breaking Bad.
Oh, you're saying he looks like he was on heroin?
Yeah, okay. He looked like he on drugs. But yeah, that's an update. And this was from what's the name of the airport? Opa-laka Executive Airport is where it went down. Now we actually got footage of the actual raid from Diddy's house.
They took computers.
Once they raided his house, we got footage of actually
what they took.
Here's some footage of it. They tore that shit apart, bro.
Completely.
They went behind his freaking computer,
TV.
his TV monitor.
Yep.
They went behind the
stand. They went in the baby's closet.
Bruh. They tore everything up, bro.
Yeah, that's what they do.
They looked at everything.
Because Homeland Security was there, too. They going to rip everything up.
Dang, not the teddy bear. Did they rip open the
Yeah, you know they did. You know they ripped that shit up.
They opened the douche.
Oh, they got to the safe. They got to the safe. They went in every bag. Look at that. Threw his shoes everywhere, bruh. He had a Happy Father's Day thing there. Damn, that's sad, bro.
How much money did they steal?
They ain't still. This is beyond money. Money has nothing to do with this situation.
Look at that shit.
E-man,
shoes all over the goddamn place.
E-man, look at all those shoes that you. I think you own like maybe 5 of those.
Those are women's shoes though, dog. So
maybe
for you, you know what I'm saying?
It's the only thing you saw. Nigga. You only saw the one.
Look at that closet, bro.
Okay, this is you. What shoes do you own?
That's crazy. You got pill bottles and shit all over there, like multivitamins.
And you only focus on the pill bottles.
Bro, he got everything like medicine.
This is a nice house.
Look at that
pills,
NyQuil,
grease.
Hey, that NyQuil bottle was on E. Did you see that NyQuil bottle? Hey, peep the NyQuil bottle, bro.
Y'all
that
look
shit
crazy.
is all empty. Look at that shit right here.
Oh shit! I didn't even notice that.
Shit, that NyQuil bottle was
that
on
shit crazy.
empty. God damn.
So who's sick?
Who's sick? Motherfuckers need to go to sleep. Motherfuckers trying to get sleep out here, bro. God damn. Yeah, so.
I mean, that's a nice house.
It's crazy how TMZ
cluttered.
gets
I would say this, man.
Also, 50 Cent has not stopped.
Oh no,
yeah,
he's
been going. Yeah,
has he been going like
trolling? Yeah, he's been going like crazy.
Check this shit out. Case files, the 50 Cent case files. Did Diddy do it?
No,
docuseries.
no, 50's a troll.
Yeah, did Diddy do it? Coming soon, a docuseries. Hey, bro, shit is crazy out here, bro. It's crazy. Before we get to the next part of 50 Cent's antics, they didn't arrest Diddy. They had enough evidence to get the warrant, raid his homes, detain, stop them at the plane, see if they had any. Because you know what? If he had drugs on him, bro, they would have arrested Diddy right then and there.
Right.
So they could hold him so he can't go nowhere.
He had the drugs. Hey, say it's yours, nigga. I'm gonna bail you out. Of course, obviously that happened.
Of course,
but
that's what happened. Yeah. No, he always keeps it. Diddy would never have the drugs on him. He has a druggie who keeps it on him at all times.
Hold him a mule.
So he ain't never caught with drugs. Yeah. That's crazy.
Yeah.
Thoughts?
Overall, this is a very nasty situation. But at this point, I think the feds don't come for you unless if they know they're going to win.
Don't forget,
I think
it's Homeland Security too.
This is a case to where they want some information. Who do you know? I don't think it's about Diddy. I think they want the information that he has.
Of course.
You don't think
of course,
it's about
him
of course,
too,
it's about Diddy.
Yeah.
If we can't get everybody else, we'll just hang you and leave you out to dry. But Diddy, do you want to go to jail for life? Or do you want to be a cooperative witness in a case that maybe you were a victim of?
Are you assuming that Diddy is just...
But everything he's saying is he's guilty of. I'm not excusing him of guilt.
Are you saying that Diddy is just a pawn in the overall scheme?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. He's African-American. So obviously an African-American of that ilk. Even though you can walk like them, talk like them, sit with them, drink with them, you're not them. And so obviously... this is a case to where, who do you know, Lucian Granges of the world, those other high-valued executives. Ooh, I'm trying my freaking best. So those freaking executives, Diddy has information on everybody in the industry, similar to Epstein. So this is the particular
he's like
case.
Epstein then, because we saw that he said cameras in every room.
But the crazy part, we felt maybe.
This is it sounds like he was right. That guy who filed suit. All of this stuff
retroactively now is looking back.
So it looks
now,
like
retroactively
he was on something. You didn't believe him.
No, I did not.
None of us did.
No, I did not. No, whoa.
I believe
you did.
him.
No, I didn't.
Me and him both did.
No, I didn't. No. Amen. Don't step. I didn't believe him more. Please protect yourself. I don't want to add you to my ill. I'm trash.
So from don't do that. Lil Rod made that lawsuit.
I did not believe him.
He said all these things, and everybody was skeptical, especially you.
Oh yeah, me. Yeah. Always gonna be skeptical. But now, bro.
And allegedly, there were interviews with four individuals who talked to the Homeland Security, who gave interviews to tell them information. Which was prior to them.
And I'm thinking this is the case to where Diddy, who do you know? It's more who done it. Who names do you know? What's up? Because I think it's somebody even higher up than him. If my names are in this files, get this fool out of here so I don't get caught up. Because I think Diddy's a domino in a probably bigger chain. Except it's on U.S. soil. Them Freaknik parties are famous. They flaunting their improprieties to the public. They just almost like I dare me to do something. And Diddy's brash enough to do something like that. Diddy has a famous quote: "If I can make a man suck my dick, I can make anybody do anything." That's what he said.
He said that?
That's what he said.
What's your thoughts, E-Man?
For years, we've been hearing talks about Diddy for so long by so many celebrities, but everybody pushed it under the bus. For years, other people came out and said this about Diddy, but they pushed it under the bus. I feel like all this shit is starting to go down because people are starting to be more awake to certain shit. Now, yeah, I agree about the fact of a bigger boss, but Diddy has been messing around for too long. It's so much shit you could do that you feel like you're getting away with. Eventually, your ass is gonna get caught. And Diddy been hiding so much stuff, bro. He's been doing not just Freakniks. He been, there's sexual scandals, there's drugs always involved, and now there's a bigger issue. There's kids. That is a huge thing.
Cassie is a degenerate for sale whore, but her lawsuit was the tickling of the snow at the top of the mountain that
made it
snowballed
look
into this big avalanche. And I'm very grateful for that effect that happened. It wasn't her intention; it was an effect from her greed.
She gets no credit for this. She settled, and she doesn't even have to testify.
But I do say
because she got her money.
I do say this though: a lot of people that may come out that say stuff, I feel my personal opinion, because I believe Diddy did everything he did, but I feel my personal opinion that they could have came out and said things a long time ago. A lot of these people are doing what they did the last time. They're coming out for that check. The bodyguard probably wasn't getting paid enough, coming out for that check. The other person coming out for that check.
But people are also very terrified of Diddy, of the illuminated woman.
Right, so why would you come out and say that somebody's telling you I can protect you? They feel protected on a situation where they feel like, okay, now I can speak up on this. But a lot of them too, like you said, we know Diddy got cameras. A lot of them could be lying about a lot of this shit, and I'm just gonna hop in the bandwagon and do it too. If he gonna get a little change, I'm gonna get a little change too. Some of them could be lying, but a lot of the shit that he did is real. I'm all
sure
know
that there's some lies that will be found.
Yeah.
But the overall general idea is that Diddy's dirty.
Right. He's been dirty though. We've been hearing about this shit a long time ago. Even before we was kids, we've been hearing about Diddy.
There's a guy who you guys may recognize. I think he did commentary on the Surviving R. Kelly documentary. And he's also a commentator for Hollywood. I don't know if you guys see this guy's face, but you recognize this guy with the fro and the glasses. He gave commentary on the Diddy situation just yesterday. And he revealed something right here for the whole world to see that he's been sitting on this whole entire time. I want you guys to check this out and tell me what you guys think of this shit.
On and on. And now this large, growing number of people who are alleging crazy stuff about him.
Yeah.
And these are things that people in the industry have been hearing about.
It's giving R. Kelly, Teray. It's giving, it's disturbing.
I was personally disturbed many years ago. Okay, I know this man well enough to call him and say, hey, I need a favor.
Yeah.
And this might have been 10, 12 years ago that I called him and say, hey, I have a family member who I want you to hire them as an intern.
Yeah.
And I have never talked about this publicly. And he said yes. And they were flying around, one of the interns, Atlanta, Miami, whatever, on the jet, in the house, whatever. And then the internship stopped abruptly, like 3 or 4 months into it.
Yeah.
And I spoke to my family member, like, well, what happened? And they wouldn't say.
Yeah.
And I'm like, why did it end? He wouldn't say. And years later, they finally came out, and this is a male, and said that Puff had said, come home, stay the night with me, or the internship is over. And they said, absolutely not. He said, absolutely not. And the internship ended. But from there, I was like, this is how it goes. Okay.
Mr. Surviving R. Kelly, Mr. Holding People Accountable. You sat on this information for all this time, and only now that the lynch mob is out, you got something to say. I got a problem with that.
I do too. And the problem I got with it was, bro, a lot of motherfuckers come out with this bullshit. if you got all this big business and you got this shit and you like, oh, I think people is wrong and all this drama shit that's going on and we need to put it out here, why didn't you put it out there? Why? Because your ass got paid off.
This man
you got
just
paid
said,
off.
"I never
You got
said
some
this
money off
publicly."
this shit, bro.
I've sat on this
Diddy,
the
my
whole
friend,
time,
you got the connections,
but
bro.
something personal happened to his family member.
Yeah.
And he kept quiet about it. Oh, this is how it is.
Again,
bro.
Money talk, bullshit
All
walk.
I can say
money
is
talk,
you
bullshit
can look
walks,
at,
bro.
I like this man picture. You can look at Pinocchio and Tails. There's a lot of strings on him.
Oh yeah, you know Diddy probably
There's
got
a
video.
lot
He
of
probably got video on
strings
him as well. He probably got
I
video
don't
on it.
believe that.
He dirty too. He dirty too.
All of this is a money grab. Everybody wants to, you know. The victim mentality is prevalent in this society, and ladies and gentlemen, I'm here to reinforce to you that you are not.
It's easy to
These
play
are
the-
choices.
Yeah. It's
This
easy to play the
man's
victim.
choosing to. There are actual real victims who deserve our sympathy,
Facts.
that deserves our attention.
Facts.
This right here is a disgusting display of somebody that wants a look at me
Attention.
mentality.
Looking for the
This
attention.
is a sickening disease in our society.
I'm
that look at me
disturbed by
mentality.
this.
Yeah.
That disturbs me.
Yeah. He's looking for the
You've
attention.
been
For
sitting
the
on
attention,
this,
bro.
and you've been.
You didn't
have
bring
been
this out with R.
protecting
Kelly,
him.
Yeah.
so you're not.
It's money.
You have been. Is that wait? Is that not him protecting Diddy?
Yes.
all
Yes.
year?
It is.
No, yes. At the lowest scale.
Yeah,
So why
And it
is he saying something now?
Because
now the forefront is out. Now it's like, all right, well, if he's getting out there, maybe I can get it too. Once again, as I said, it's about some protection. If either could go by, you know what, Diddy was somebody that's untouchable. Now I feel like, all right, maybe people with the feds in his ear, we could protect you. We could get this. All right, now I could put this out there. Or as I said before, it's about money. Somebody tell him, if you put this out here, we'll pay you this amount of money. Put this out here and tell this what happened. Everything switches up every time somebody else tells some type of damn story,
I don't
bro.
think Big Bird here has the access, the ability, the will to work, or even the gall to even go what you're talking about.
About the
It's
money?
as simple as he can hop on MSNBC, talk to Joy Reid, because the R. Kelly, that's a hot topic. Joy Reid can just pull in. It's like you're ignorant. You're interviewing the most ignorant African American you can find, and this is one of them. You're interviewing this ignorant mofo. Who
But this guy is the surveyor of peace and tranquility.
But
amongst
sitting on
black
information, but things that allegedly
You
happened
don't think
20
that
years
it's not
ago.
about money?
For him personally, yes.
That's what I'm.
I don't know what you guys think when you see him. First of all, let's lay that ground rule down. E-Man, do you recognize him, and what do you know him to be?
I don't recognize him because I did not watch Surviving R. Kelly. I'll keep that a buck.
Do you remember him commentating on the Ray Rice stuff, the Michael Jackson
Yeah,
stuff?
I do remember. I
Do
do
you
remember. He does look familiar when it comes down to the. Keep that a buck.
He's the guy who commentates on black entertainers and their culpability and how keeping people honest. He represents justice.
I've seen him
It's
with
always
Jason
the
Lee.
ones- like, it's-
I know who I've seen him make his rounds with Jason.
It's always
Lee.
the ones who always scream about justice, but they be saying that shit about others because they don't want their shit getting put
Got
out
you.
there.
I
in the
just
plot.
want to know. So you don't recognize him as anything. So I understand.
He's a nobody.
Yeah.
That's easy. I don't recognize him from nothing. I've seen you make interviews, but you yourself as an interviewer, you as an entity, you're a nobody. According to in my world, you're a nobody.
So he was a big part of the Survivor and R. Kelly documentary as somebody who was commentating on, R. Kelly's bad antics,
Right.
which eventually helped putting him behind bars. To know that this man is that type of person and to hold on to some information that's personal to him. This man said his own family member
Yeah, that's sick.
Had an
bro.
interaction with
coerced.
Diddy.
He
Yeah.
said, if you don't spend the night with me, this is over. That's effed up. That's
Yeah.
illegal.
He should have put that out there a long time ago, before all that, bro. But I mean, the most he can say is, I thought that if I put this out there, that they're gonna cover it up. They're not gonna
The
believe me.
victim
It's my word
mentality
against
is strong.
his. At that time, maybe he felt that Diddy
I
was too big to
find
be that part, bro.
I find it
So-
extra disgusting.
So Jody,
Yeah.
that
is
we
this
have
you
people
feel that
who have
way?
information out here.
So my question
who
to
aren't
you
giving
is,
it up.
why didn't Joy ask him that question?
Who's Joy?
The person that he's interviewing.
Oh, okay.
The person interviewing him, Joy Reid.
He
She's
volunteered
on the
that information.
He did. So
He
in
said,
real
this is
time,
this is my first time saying it publicly.
Great.
There was no question for her to ask.
this is
he
the
already
first
spoke it
I'm
out
hearing
there.
of it. You don't.
He
don't
just
kinda,
said this is my first time speaking.
But
of
still,
this.
as an interviewer,
it's a story no one
but
knew.
did surviving R. Kelly already happen prior to that statement being made?
Yeah.
So Joy Reid couldn't say, "Oh, it's your first time."
Has anything happened to you? That's an awkward question to ask somebody. Do you have any personal issues with
Our
Diddy?
point is,
Who's
we're
gonna say
attacking.
that?
We're attacking if the story's true or not.
First of all,
you need to call Cap with bro. You just gonna volunteer brand new information with no pushback? As an interviewer, that's some wild shit to me.
Why would
with
somebody?
no pushback?
Why would someone lie about Diddy doing something to their family member like that?
Why would somebody hide it for this long? For the same reason somebody would hide it for this long, for clout. How do you know he's telling the truth?
So that's a really bold statement to say. That's wild to me.
You can't.
So,
if it's really true,
he's a hop on the bandwagon with lies. That's slander.
Yeah,
that's a crime.
Yeah, he can go to jail for that.
Yes, that never happened. That's a crime, bro.
And then everybody, you think Diddy has the time to personally sue this man?
Everybody who's coming out saying
I don't go that far. I believe him. I believe the
okay.
story.
Thank that.
Yes.
I don't.
Yeah.
Just like I believe the producer who made the lawsuit that you didn't.
Mm-hmm.
It's the same way I'm believing this idiot.
That's fine, but I don't.
When you, all right, for sure, I understand.
But remember, we said we need to stay position.
Yeah,
Sure,
I always
sure,
felt like the producer who was what we was talking about at that time. If you felt that way, bro, you should have left. Like when some man come at you like that, and there's something that you feel out of character, leave. You put yourself in that situation. When anybody make you feel any type of way, you need to leave. You can find something else. Now you got connections, leave. But you choose to stay in that.
I find
this man though should have been said that. Somebody tell me that my family member, or I know my family member, I'm speaking out on it, bro. That means you don't give a fuck about your family like that. And then he said too, "Oh, I'm friends with this man. We're cool. I can call him and ask him for nothing, I can anything." He got you in his pocket.
It don't take R. Kelly for you to speak.
He got you in his pocket.
And he's comfortable putting that information out. It's almost as if people are letting him know the green light is out.
Yep.
He said that so easily, and he didn't have to say this.
He didn't bite his tongue.
It's disturbing.
He didn't have to say this.
I was personally disturbed many years ago. Okay, I know this man well enough to call him and say, "Hey, I need a favor."
Yeah.
And this might have been 10, 12 years ago that I called him and say, "Hey, I have a family member who I want you to hire them as an intern."
Yeah.
And I have never talked about this publicly, and he said yes, and they were flying around, one of the interns, Atlanta, Miami, whatever, on the jet, in the house, whatever, and then the internship stopped abruptly, like 3 or 4 months into it.
Yeah.
And I spoke to my family member, like, "Well, what happened?" And they wouldn't say.
Yeah.
And I'm like, why did it end? He wouldn't say. And years later, they finally came out, and this is a male, and said that Puff had said, "Come home, stay the night with me, or the internship is over." And they said, "Absolutely not." He said,
the way that you just gave up that information in an interview where you're giving commentary so easily that you could have given up 10 years ago. 10, 12 years ago, you knew this. But then years later, he said he found out what the first. So since then, which was probably some years, you held and sat on this information. And you could have given it up during the Surviving R. Kelly documentary that you were happily participating in. But you didn't. It's almost as if the people in positions of power,
the puppets,
put the email, sent the Ravens, telegrammed, faxed.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, green light on Diddy.
Whatever you got, put it out there.
That's what it seems like to me.
We gonna pay you though. Don't even trip. We gonna take care of you.
Or it seems like to me he's not telling the truth. As far as me,
I just feel like
I just feel like you have no basis for saying that.
Because he just said, "I called my family member, said what happened," but did he not say earlier? I feel comfortable enough to call Diddy up and be like, "Hey, what's up with the intern?"
Yeah, he said.
Did he not say that?
Yeah, he did.
He did say that.
He did.
So he said. Then I called my family. Months later, I figured out, okay, nigga, what's going on with the interview?
Yeah.
He's like, "Oh, bro, Nick, that shit happened." So you didn't call Diddy back and ask Diddy himself
I was thinking
what
that
happened?
myself. Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
Why is that hard to understand?
It's really difficult for me.
So
Because if you want the truth of what happened, ask the person you set the shit up.
Stop
with.
right there. What did you just say? What did you just start that statement by saying? You asked a question. if you want to know the truth of what happened,
ask the source.
If
you set it
want
up.
to know the truth of what happened,
ask the
it's
source.
the same reason why people believe that they got burned, but they don't go get the DNA test or the blood test because they don't want to know. I don't want to know.
So ignorance is bliss. That's what we're doing. So ignorance is bliss.
Yeah, maybe yes.
That's not a good enough excuse.
Do you know how many assaults have happened over years and decades? With all these different cases off of people who didn't want to ask the question.
Do we know what
they ignore it? It doesn't happen. You know how many little girls have been touched?
I'm not giving him. Like I mentioned earlier, I reserve that statement for real victims, not people like him.
Well, he's not
a
victim.
Real victim?
It's his family members
are real victims.
Then let him speak up.
Okay, so you're the type of person is if something was done wrong to you, if
up.
you don't speak up for yourself, let the guy go.
You feel like it never happened.
Speak up for yourself. I can't fight for somebody that don't want to fight for themselves. It's a tough take. Hey, bro, I can't want something more than somebody else. I can't have something more than somebody else. If you won't fight for yourself, fine.
You know how intimidating and dangerous that is to say, yo, Diddy, what happened, man? You touched my... He'll be in a box.
Or his family member being shown on screen.
There's so many reasons why he wouldn't try to dig in there
so that's
and
fear.
open Pandora's box.
Would you do that?
It's
intimidation
would you sit
on
fear.
That? Would you sit on that?
I would be in that position.
Out of fear?
I would not let my relative work for Diddy.
But he did. So what does that say about him as a person?
He's a degenerate.
Yeah, I agree with that.
So why do I have sympathy for the degenerate?
It's not saying have sympathy.
Degenerates have freaking rights too.
They do, but I'm not gonna have sympathy for it.
Strippers are degenerates.
Don't have sympathy.
When they get raped,
when they get AIDS, I don't feel sorry for
when
them.
They get raped,
when
a stripper gets assaulted, should she
get justice.
All right, so
but
you
do
don't
I feel bad
then?
for her putting herself in that situation?
But you don't believe that. I'm just exposing. You don't believe that degenerates shouldn't get justice then. You just said that with him.
No, if she gets raped, sorry.
It's okay.
If that happens to her, she put herself in that situation.
Understood.
If she was in Bible study, that wouldn't happen to her.
But does
if
she
was by
deserve
herself,
justice?
She do.
All right then. So
she do.
So does he.
Well, his family member.
If it's true.
Member does. Yeah.
If it's true.
Yes, if it's true.
If it's true, then that's where we sit.
Well,
I don't believe it.
I've given you reasons why he would not dig deeper.
And I don't think if we're
have
sitting on
common
a
sense
jury,
to know that.
12 angry men. Nope, he's guilty.
So tell me why. Tell me why.
Because he sat on
you don't
information.
believe him.
If you're so passionate, if you knew this really happened, if this was really an issue, you should have rang the bell like everybody else did in the beginning who have stories. You sat on this and wait till it was popular and wait for people to have your back and wait for people to pump you up to tell you that you're doing the right thing. A character, it means when you're doing the right thing when nobody's watching. If he knew that was wrong, he should have rang the bell when it was wrong. Don't be afraid to do something because you're afraid of the repercussions. I don't fuck with people like that.
And that's why you don't believe him.
Yes. No, I don't believe you. I think he's lying. I think he's creating an anecdotal story that he probably heard from somebody else. I don't believe him. Nope.
That's the exact same mentality what happens when little daughter goes to mama and said, boyfriend touched me.
And she say, shut the fuck up. Stop
You
lying.
hey,
get out of here. Go to your room. Go to your room.
Nope.
Yeah.
I don't agree.
Yeah.
Nope. I don't believe him. I don't believe him.
You don't believe the little daughter.
I don't believe him.
Daddy touched you.
I'm not him.
That's deep.
Would a child told me that? If a child told me, that's different, not him.
Why?
Only people that tell the truth are old people, children, and drunk people.
What about adults would talk about it when they were children?
What about adults with attention that's sitting on Joy Reid Live that's getting paid that he should have said some shit months ago? You sitting on this information.
All right. So a girl who's 25 comes and tells mom, when I was 12, your husband, who's
that's not to
my
say,
father,
did he get touched?
Me. I'm asking you. I'm asking you, would you believe her?
Yes.
All right. So what the freak is the difference?
I don't believe his story. I don't think.
I know. But then we find out. We ask, why don't you believe it? You say because he don't say something then and there, which is the same case with the girl who was touched at 12, who came at 25 to say something.
Nope. I don't believe.
You're contradicting yourself.
Nope. You can call it that. Call it what you want. I don't believe him. That's a bullshit story he made up, and you have no proof until they use names. So you're going off of a narrative that he said if you believe this story. We all can tell stories.
Why would he lie on air and defame Diddy? Which is
because it's a popular thing to do.
No,
you got the nigga from Surviving R. Kelly.
Diddy. You can still go to jail for that.
Yeah, facts.
Who is Diddy is not going to sue him now.
No, it's not about Diddy suing him.
Who's going to sue him?
If it could be proven.
That's federal,
that this
bro.
is a lot.
So who can sue him? Who? Diddy's
The
gonna
federal
sue him right
government.
now. Why
The DA can put charges on him.
Yeah.
You don't need Diddy to put charges on him. The DA will be like, oh, this motherfucker lying. Get him.
You believe this nigga? Great, got it.
I do.
Got it.
I do.
You got it.
But
You
anyway,
got it.
I look at it like this, bro. There's so many.
Wait. Do you believe him?
Yeah, I do.
Okay.
I do. Because it's kind of like this,
sane.
though. It's
Okay,
kind
cool.
of like this, though.
I'll be an alien. It's
We
cool.
have faith in humanity.
Oh, I don't.
Right,
Y'all voted for Trump. Y'all lost humanity. Go ahead.
It's like this, though. I agree with what you're saying, because there's so many people in the world who go through trauma and they keep that shit locked up so much. As he was saying, little girls, boys, all that shit. And that situation happened, and it takes something to trigger or something happened again, and then they finally break down. We've been through situations where females told us shit, and we like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
Never could believe it. But
Wild stuff that
why
you
would
hear.
why would they lie automatically? Now, don't get me wrong. There are people
Some of
who
them
lie.
do. Some of
They
them
will
do.
lie just to make themselves look like a victim.
Right.
People love to play the fucking victim card, but they never like to speak the truth
Was he
on it.
touched?
His cousin was, or his family member was, whoever they was.
Whoever
his family member was. Now, I can say this,
Maybe
though.
he didn't
I can say this, though. His family member might want it to come out, but he feel like he can't, because he feel like if I do, Diddy probably told me, if you ever say something, you're a dead man.
He didn't say that.
I'm just saying.
That's a threat.
I'm just
He's
saying,
allowed to
bro.
say that.
I'm just saying. It's a difference between somebody else seeing it or him seeing it. When you see somebody show your face, you're a target.
I ring bells. I ring bells when I'm hurt.
He ain't got nothing, because it's like, all right, bro, it's his word against mine. But the main person seeing it, that's when it's the problem.
Right.
Because
I
he's the
agree.
one that went through it.
Yeah, I agree with you, man. I'm with him on this one. I'm
Okay,
sorry,
that's
I don't
fine,
know
nigga.
shit.
I'll be on the branch by my motherfucking self.
Yeah,
I'm used to it.
is it because of that stance you're taking is tough, because with that stance and ideology that you have towards people who are outing other people for doing bad things, nothing will get done. That's how Diddy survive. This is how Diddy's wander around for 25
For believing
years.
niggas like him?
For you not believing anybody. Yes, him. What the freak? If somebody, it doesn't matter. It's not about him. It's about someone saying, I have a family member who worked for Diddy. Now, you could factually prove that.
Yep.
I had a family member that worked for Diddy as an assistant, traveled all over the world. You can prove that. And then, all of a sudden, later I ask, it ended. He tells me years later, he said, if I don't come and have sex with you, that this internship is over. So I left.
Is it quite possibly, oh, nigga, you sucked as an intern, you're fired? Is that a possibility too?
I got one.
Yes, it is. But
you
that's
see how
not what
you
he
see how we
said.
talked about the manager or whatever shit, right? He's been talking about how Diddy came at him and told him about sexual content with him and shit like that, trying to have sexual shit with him. Now we got
I'm
this
with
person
you,
saying
Aisha.
that.
She
we
said,
got
this
this
is why
person
we
saying that.
stay stuck.
We got
I'm
this
pretty
person
sure that's
saying
a black
that.
woman saying that.
And
This is
we
why
and we
stay
go by
on
that. It's two people. It's two males.
Hold on.
Go ahead, bro. Go ahead.
It's a black woman saying this is exactly why we stay stuck. Because there's a lot of situations in the black community, you know this, or maybe you freaking don't. A lot of little girls, and this is just me just having relationships with black women.
Yeah, no, a lot of
The
stories.
horror stories that I've heard,
Eat
I
you up
honestly
alive.
believe that more than half of our black girls have been touched
Yes.
by people in their own family, bro.
Yep.
And people, they do the Keon. Don't ask, no questions. Just don't
Lock
say
that shit up.
Yeah, they just let it slide. So I just wanted to highlight that.
Yeah.
But go ahead and say your shit.
So you got this man speaking up, the first one saying it. Now I was with you on that a little bit, like man coming out saying this, but you got multiple men that are saying this man tried to.
But that's not enough though.
It's-
Just because
it's-
multiple people are saying something, it's what it said though. This is a valid story.
This, bro.
Because
It's
he's
too
putting
much.
himself
It's
out
too much.
there.
What he's
You're
saying-
the story that you're saying could get you put in jail if you're lying.
Yeah, facts.
So that's
facts.
why it's kind of credible. Like, I don't think that a person would, in his stature, would self-sabotage himself live on MSNBC.
Facts. That manager who said that shit. Now even on that point, him seeing, oh, this is what happened. Even we saw that fucking video.
I'm gonna remember
when all
this.
that other shit,
I'm
bro.
gonna start asking y'all niggas why do liars lie. Okay.
When
cool.
that
I'll eat
situation
this.
happened, when
Cool.
that situation
I
happened,
remembered it. Okay, cool.
With Forrest
You got
Whitaker
it.
and all that weird shit, bro.
All right.
It's just like everything is starting to come together. At first, I was kind of like, I don't.
Forrest Whitaker.
What's his name?
Forrest Whitaker. What did he do?
MSNBC. I don't know. I don't know what he's
What's his
talking
name?
about.
Who he had his arm around, bro? Remember the bodyguard, the
Cuba Gooding Jr.?
My bad. I'm sorry. Cuba Gooding Jr. My bad.
Like they look nothing alike.
My bad. I
Their
apologize.
names sound nothing alike.
I don't know why it came to mind. I apologize. But anyway,
sorry, Forrest Whitaker caught it straight. Oh, what I do? What I do?
My bad. With that main situation happened, bro, it's the same shit that he's saying that his people went through. Damn near. And that shit's adding up way too much.
If it happened. Yeah, if it happened.
If it happened allegedly. Allegedly. If it happened.
Cool.
I'll give you that, all right? You that good?
What do you think happened? Let me know in the comment section, guys, because this shit's going to go a little bit further because we have to talk about somebody else. It might be time up for somebody else, and 50 Cent is already putting the breadcrumbs at who it might be.